Hey, 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 today is National Wildlife Day. Yes, finally a national day that I can actually get behind. Unlike sometimes where it's like a National Fruitcake Day, weird things like that. I can certainly get behind celebrating, appreciating, and protecting wildlife. And hopefully you feel the same way as well. All right, hopefully everybody had a great holiday weekend. If you live in the US, that is. If not, hopefully Monday wasn't too tough a day on you. But the Daily Dope is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang. Yes, I'm Jeff McAleer, back once again as your host here at The Daily Dope. Presented by thegaminggang.com, of which I happen to be the Grand Poobah. So, today is September 4th. It's my first show for September. Yes, that's right. You haven't seen me since last month. Actually, it hasn't been that long. So, hopefully everybody had a wonderful holiday weekend. Here in the US, had a very safe holiday weekend and enjoyed their Labor Days. And of course, those of you out there internationally who were not celebrating Labor Day, hopefully you had a great weekend as well. So, got some news today, got some things cooking. I am actually going to take a first look and unbox Samurai Jack Back to the Past, which is from Adult Swim, Project Raygun, and USAopoly. That's coming up in just a few minutes after the news and such. Getting a little bit of glare coming up there. This box just doesn't want to seem to sit up straight. But there are some miniatures in it. I think that's probably why. I think the minis might be on top, kind of the top of the box area. So it might be throwing off the weight distribution a little bit on the box. All right, so this is a live stream. If you haven't watched before, welcome aboard. Kick back, relax. It is very, very casual. I just chat about tabletop gaming for the most part, sometimes some geek culture stuff. And if you are watching live, keep in mind, chat is available through YouTube. It is not on screen. It's one of the ways that I kind of keep some of the stranger commenters at bay. But I do keep an eye on chat, so if you want to say hello or if you have a question, or if you want a closer look at something from Samurai Jack Back to the Past, by all means, type it on out and I will respond. All right, so let's jump on into the news. Got a bit, not a ton, but I do have a bit. And there's an interesting looking game which has recently hit Kickstarter, which is from Newcomers Laboratory H. Never heard of them before. I believe this is their first game, their first Kickstarter. And I've got the dope on Dark Domains. In Dark Domains, each player takes on the role of a city leader attempting to expand the frontier of Harrows into the hinterland. Unbeknownst to the powers in Harrows, say Harrows. Some of those leaders, namely the players, are secretly evil to the core and in the thrall of the Necromancer. Once away from the bustling city and the oversight of the courts, these overlords create domains that outwardly appear to be beacons of light and hope. Eventually, however, their true colors will come through and those upstanding pillars of the community will retreat to their lairs as a masquerade ends and their lands begin to decay into wastelands overrun by foul monsters and nefarious henchmen. Damn you, nefarious henchmen! But all is not peaches and cream in the lands of darkness. It's the lands of darkness. I wouldn't think there's any peaches or cream. Harrows is home to the famous Touring Company and its never-ending supply of heroes and adventurers. Once the word reaches Harrows that darkness is afoot in the domains, it is only a matter of time before these nosy adventurers begin to seek out the dens of horror to stop the evil. Dark Domains is a worker placement game where 2 to 5 players attempt to create a domain that provides them the most evil depicted in the game by skulls. Players must use minions, henchmen, monsters, and magic to stamp out the good, repel the Touring Company, and cover their land in darkness. Tarot cards are used in the game as events to liven up each turn and to regulate the phases of the game. Laboratory H does have a short video. It's just a little bit under 2 minutes. Unfortunately, as far as images go, there are images for the game out there. It's just the way that they've been put together on the Laboratory H, or I should say Dark Domain's game website, is you can't separate them out. They're all kind of like a complete web page. So at least we've got a video to give you a better look at Dark Domains.
Many centuries ago, the first great empire of men fell to the forces of light. Now stands the noble city of Harrows and its surrounding domains. How magnificent. How oblivious. Embrace the twists of fate. Prepare for your moment of glory. Send forth your minions. Gather your resources. Hire henchmen to do your bidding. Learn the powerful ways of magic. Expand your settlements. Misdirect the city defenders. Add to the wealth of your people. And when your rivals least expect it, with the city quiet and complacent, when the time is just right, you'll betray them all. For the Necromancer, bring order to your domain. Unleash terrible and ferocious monsters to defend your wicked land and people. Draw upon ancient magic to protect your realm, or rain horror upon your rivals. Too long have we lurked in the shadows. Too long have we hidden our true selves. Reject the light. The Necromancer will rise once again. And all will tremble when he finally is revealed. Your time has come. The time is now. Claim what is rightfully yours. Dark Domains.
Dark Domains Kickstarter project is at about the 55% mark of its funding goal, and you can reserve a copy of the base game and on any unlocked stretch goals for a $65 pledge. The Kickstarter does run for another 26 days. I think it launched today. It may have launched just today, or possibly yesterday. Although, to be honest, I wouldn't think it's a US-based Kickstarter. I wouldn't think they would launch it on a holiday, but you never know. So, do have to point out, this does look pretty interesting. Kind of in a kind of dungeon keeper kind of feel to it. And I'm talking about the old PC game back in the day. Isn't there... There's also, I think it's called Dungeon Keeper as well. The board games from, I can't remember the European game company. I know it's kind of a Euro-style game. You've got that as well. So I kind of dig that whole... you're the bad guy having to fight off the good guys. That being said, I usually don't like playing like evil villains and stuff like that in board games. Of course, when I'm game mastering a game, a role-playing game, sure, of course I have to play the villains and every other NPC, but kind of weird. Two other things I should mention. Laboratory H, this is a first Kickstarter for them, so I'm just floating that out there. I'm not necessarily saying anything either way, but it is a first Kickstarter. But I do have to point out, Jeff Horger and his wife Carla Horger are involved in the design for this. I don't know if they're the head designers, lead design, or if they did some design work, some development work in the design itself. But if you are familiar with Thunder Alley from GMT, the racing game, Jeff did that. There's some other titles he's got out there as well. He's got kind of a Mad Max game that's on the horizon. I think it's called Apocalypse Road. So just wanted to float that out. Dark Domains looks pretty cool. Bunch of stretch goals that are out there, and there's a bonus, some bonus cards if you pledge in the next 3 days. So just wanted to point that out as well. All right, a new solitaire war game is now available from my friends over at Tiny Battle Publishing, and I've got the dope on the battle for Ramadi. After encircling the city for weeks, the Iraqi military launched a campaign to retake it last week and made a final push to seize the central administration complex on Sunday. By controlling the complex, this means that we have defeated them in Ramadi, said Sabah al-Numani, a spokesman for the force leading the fight on the government side. The next step is to clear pockets that could exist here or there in the city. A U.S. defense official, speaking on condition of anonymity, said the U.S.-led campaign against Islamic State was unable to confirm at this point whether the militants had been cleared out of the government complex. The Battle for Ramadi is a solitary game that depicts the climactic 7 days of the assault on this key town. You are the commander of the Iraqi security forces and must capture the government complex to secure the political victory. But your ultimate objective is to liberate the city and its inhabitants. You have elite counterterrorism service troops supported by army, police, and militia units. Combat is brutal and unpredictable. The city is full of IEDs, ISIS fighters, and innocent civilians. You can also call on coalition air assets and special forces to give you the edge. You must plan carefully, take advantage of your freedom to deliver strikes against enemy territory at will, but also be warned that you can lose the game, even on the last turn, as your casualties mount and ISIS counterattack your exposed troops. The Battle for Ramadi is available right now, and you can order it from Tiny Battle Publishing at a sale price of $22. It is normally $26. This looks pretty interesting. I like war games that have an urban setting because you don't run across tons of them. And of course, it's a solitaire game too, so really interested in that. Do have to point out, usually solitaire war games really comes down to how's the AI baked into the game. But this looks like it could be pretty interesting. And hey, it's $22 right now. I do believe it should probably be print and play as well, or print on demand, I guess. No, it's print and play over at Wargame Vault. So keep that in mind also. All right, my final two news pieces are role-playing game related. And first off, pre-orders for the latest supplement for Star Trek Adventures is now available from Modiphius Entertainment, and I've got the dope. I think this new ship was put together by monkeys. Oh, she's got a fine engine, but half the doors won't open, and guess whose job it is to make it right? The Operations Division supplement provides game masters and players with a wealth of new material for use in Star Trek Adventures for characters in the Operations Division. The Operations Division supplement includes detailed descriptions of the Operations Division, obviously enough, covering both the security and engineering departments, Starfleet Corps of Engineers, Starfleet Intelligence, and even the elusive Section 31. There's advice on creating Operations Divisions, focused plot components for your missions to challenge the bravery of your security personnel and the ingenuity of your engineering officers. Oh, bust out those red shirts, gang. There's a whole chapter of equipment and rules for their inclusion in Star Trek Adventures missions, an expanded list of talents and focuses for security and engineering characters, as well as new character creation choices for enlisted personnel. There's detailed descriptions and game statistics for a range of security and engineering focused NPCs and supporting characters, including Luther Sloan, Leah Brahms, and Mako soldiers, or MACO soldiers. Star Trek Adventures Red Alert provides 2D20 rules for miniatures combat in the Star Trek universe, and also includes a campaign of 6 branching missions, which I believe is part of this source book. Anyway, you can pre-order the Operations Division source book, which includes the PDF, for $32.99 over at the Modiphius website. Pretty sure we should see the PDF on the horizon, because usually when the pre-orders pop out, the PDF is like right on the cusp of coming out. Sometimes it comes right out. So I'm taking a guess we should see the PDF on Drive-Thru RPG as well. Taking a guess, it'll probably carry an MSRP around $16.99. Thereabouts. Alright, and finally, there is a new supplement for Shadowrun, which is available from Catalyst Game Labs. And here's the dope on Kill Code Advanced Matrix Rules. The Matrix is unknowable because it is infinite. There's always one more corner behind which things can hide, one more hole where secrets can be buried. Your job isn't to know everything about the Matrix, it's to know more than the people you are hunting, or who are hunting you. Kill Code will help give Sixth World hackers the edge they need to stay alive and get ahead. From a guide to Matrix basics and operations, to more ways to build ace deckers, to dozens of new options for technomancers. The book can help everyone who tries to make their living on the Matrix, providing something to give them an edge when writing the Matrix's data streams. They'll also learn about who their opposition might be and how they might be attacked. The Matrix is full of kill codes waiting to be executed. Just as with the Sixth World's many firearms, your job is to make sure they're pointed in the right direction when they go off. Kill Code is an advanced Matrix sourcebook for use with Shadowrun 5th edition, and the 192-page PDF is available right now at DriveThruRPG for $24.99. So wanted to throw a bone out for Shadowrun because I have a soft spot in my heart for the system when it originally came out from FASA. It was very, very unique, very, very unusual, right? It was cyberpunk with magic and elves and dwarves and ogres and just crazy, crazy stuff. So I am not overly familiar with 5th edition Shadowrun. And I'm kind of curious, maybe somebody out there, if you catch this video and you want to leave in the comments, if you play Shadowrun or if you're pretty familiar with 5th edition, what you think of it. Because I would like to know. I would really like to know. Catalyst Game Labs is sort of, it's not the best run company out there, you know? And that's why I kind of go, I wonder how 5th edition Shadowrun is. Anywho, but at least you do have the latest supplement kill codes available at DriveThruRPG. As I always like to mention, if you are going to DriveThruRPG, please stop by thegaminggang.com, click on one of our banners, and that way, if you do make a purchase at one of the drive-thru sites, we'll get a small portion of that sale. And I say it all the time, it really, really adds up. Okay, so that is it for the news today. Let me grab a quick sip here. Pretty quick news day today. Honestly, I really had to go dig around to find some interesting things. So, I had a lot of fun over my holiday weekend, over my Labor Day weekend. Still got that bronchitis, still can't shake it, so I'll be coughing and wheezing a little bit. But first off, I finally got to finish up my Gen Con interviews. I still had 2 left that I had to get out there. And because the past few weekends I've had to watch my niece and nephew just about every weekend, I have not had an opportunity to sit down and finally finish doing all the graphics and do the renders and stuff like that. So this weekend, I actually got it done. So my apologies to Jason Brenner over at Play Fusion, and of course my pal Stephen Bonacore over at Stronghold Games, because it took a while. I feel bad that it took so long to get these out. But the computer here, basically the setup here in the Duct Tape Studios, is really the only desktop computer that I've got that's got the horsepower, or even have access to, that's got the horsepower to render these videos and not take like 5 hours to do it. So it's pretty quick. It's about 1 minute of video equals 1 minute of rendering time. So pretty much a 1-to-1 ratio, which is pretty nice. But anyway, so got those out. Those are up. And we do talk about, Jason and I talk about Light Seekers as well as Warhammer Age of Sigmar Champions. So I'm going to do a standalone video where I talk about this because I kind of dig it. I've been playing it with Cameron, my nephew, and we've been having fun. And I have the Death and Disorder, no, Death and Destruction, Disorder, Death and Destruction starters that we've been playing with. So I might unbox the Chaos and Order decks and kind of do a bit of a how to play video. So maybe I'll try to do that this coming weekend, because I don't think I've got anything too exciting planned. Anyway, so I got the videos done. So I also had an opportunity to get some gaming in. So Elliot Miller, my best friend, voiceofe.com, although I got to be honest, he hasn't done anything new on the website in a long time. He's taking a bit of a break. I asked him what's going on. He said, yeah, I'm taking a break. Anyway, we got together, played Everdell, played Black Orchestra. No, we did not kill Hitler, unfortunately. Played War Chest, so had fun with that. And we did get to play Tiny Epic Zombies. So that was fun. So got a bit of gaming in on Friday night, so that was pretty sweet. Then, strangely enough, I was kind of like, what should I do? Because I didn't really go anywhere. But I wanted to kind of take a break from doing stuff having to do with the gaming gang or the Daily Dope or, putting together some videos and that. I just wanted to take a little weekend off, right, from doing that, even though I did get the videos up. So I was actually playing video games. I have not played video games in quite a while, outside of some PC stuff where, like, I've been taking a peek at Lord of the Rings, the Living Card Game, which is in early access from Asmodee Digital and Fantasy Flight Interactive. I think it's Fantasy Flight Interactive. And been enjoying that, but I wanted to do something a little bit different. And I thought, okay, so what is out there that maybe I could play on my laptop that's not a big resource hog? And I have been playing Cuphead. Yes, I finally got to check out Cuphead. And I mean, it's amazingly difficult, but it's like 1930s cartoons if the creator dropped acid. I mean, it's just really bizarre, but it's just wild. Just really, really cool, but it is very hard. My reflexes aren't what they used to be. And I have been having a blast playing Hollow Knight. I want to say it's the Godsend edition, because it's got all the DLC to it. And I am just loving that game. I actually finished up the videos yesterday to get them up. And then I started playing Hollow Knight. And I was like, I just couldn't put it down. I was just having a blast. Very, very fun. Pretty cool. So that's how I spent my weekend. So hopefully everybody out there had a lot of fun on their holiday weekends. Or, like I said, if you're not in the U.S., hopefully you had a great time just enjoying a standard weekend. So I'm going to be taking a look at Samurai Jack Back to the Past in just a sec. Want to talk about what's coming up on the show. So on tomorrow's episode, it's Wargame Wednesday. I am going to review War Chest from Alderac Entertainment Group. I know I've been talking about that. I want to get a review for the Fort Sumter, the Secession Crisis, 1860, 1861 from GMT out there. Probably going to shoot that as a standalone video. I got to be honest, though. I mean, there are a lot of people who are like just loving that game. It's good. I don't see where all the love's coming from, and I'll talk about that when I do finally get around. And that's one of the reasons why I haven't reviewed it, because it's sort of like, it's not a bad game. I mean, it's okay. It just doesn't knock my socks off like most Mark Herman games do. So that's one of the reasons why, because I hate doing. It's not a negative review, but it's not like a great review. It's just like, yeah, it's okay. It's okay to good, depending on what mood you're in. Anyway, so I will be reviewing War Chest on tomorrow's show for Wargame Wednesday. And then on Thursday's show, I am going to review Overlight, the role-playing game from Renegade Games Studios. That's on Thursday's show. So reviews pretty much all week except for today, because on Friday, I'm going to review Tiny Epic Zombies from Gamelin Games. I mean, this game is just packed. It is jam-packed in this little box. That's one of the things I really enjoy about the Gameland games is that there's a lot of gameplay packed into a small box with a very, very friendly price tag. So, and then on Monday's show, I'm going to unbox and take a first look at Fist of Dragonstones, the Tavern Edition from Stronghold Games. So we're going to be taking a peek at that. And then on next Tuesday's show, I like to always try to have what's coming up like for the next week, right? What you can see, like, okay, so today's Tuesday. I want to share what's coming next Tuesday as well. I'm going to unbox and take a first look at The Captain is Dead Lockdown from Alderac Entertainment Group. So I heard good things about The Captain is Dead, and this looks kind of cool too. Looks like it's got a little bit of tongue-in-cheek humor, where I guess the crew of the ship where the captain is dead, because the captain's still dead, actually were captured by the aliens, and you're trying to break out of the prison. So I believe that's what that's all about. So that'll be on next Tuesday's show. Okay, so let's take a look at Samurai Jack Back to the Past from Adult Swim, Project Raygun, and USAopoly. Game is designed by Andrew Wolf. It's for 2 to 5 players, ages 13 and up. You should be able to knock the game out in around 45 to 60 minutes, and the game does carry an MSRP of $34.99. The game is out. So let's move on over to the other camera. And so pretty decent sized box. It's got a little bit of heft to it, I have to admit, and I'm taking a guess it's probably because of the miniatures. So let me pop on the old reading glasses here. It says, gotta get back to the past. Accompany Samurai Jack on his quest to vanquish the shape-shifting Master of Darkness, Aku. As beloved companions from Jack's adventures, players strive to gain the most honor by helping him gather allies, weapons, and traits. Will you be the one to get Jack back to the past and undo the future that is Aku? So there are custom miniatures in the game itself. My understanding is this is fairly light, pretty light game. I'm going to guarantee it's not going to take too long to get into. I take a guess as well that it's not going to involve a lot of heavy mental lifting either. So I did slice the shrink wrap earlier, so get that out of the way. Flip this on over. Kind of cool the way this kind of like dragon head kind of shines, and the rest of the and of course Samurai Jack Back to the Past has some shine to it, and the rest of the box is pretty much dull or matte. I should say dull. It's matte finish. Duh. So we have the instructions. What, 6 pages maybe? Yep, it's fold out. So we got the object of the game. Strive to gain the most honor by gathering the necessary allies, weapons, and traits to defeat Aku and send Jack back to the past. So I don't believe any one player is actually playing Jack. I think they are playing Jack's allies. So we see that looks like there's tiles that represent different areas that we're going to set up. So there's 15 of them, set of 5, set of 5, set of 5. Then you're going to choose your character, Monkey Man, Max, Sir Rothschild, Ashi, or the Scotsman. So I do believe that this game is based on the I believe it was the final season of Samurai Jack. I'll be the first to say that I've only watched a couple of episodes of Samurai Jack, and that was like way back. So I have absolutely no idea what happens in the 5th season, but I know that was the final season as well. It's kind of showing this here. Talking about movement cards, support cards, villain cards. End of the round. Losing the game. Remember that each turn that no player's character advances to be in the same location as Jack, or Jack and Aku are in the same location. Jack's sanity tracker advances. If the token reaches the end of the meter, all players lose the game as Jack has succumbed to Aku's torment and is driven insane. It's got encounter tokens. Okay, so it says when playing with 2 players, add in a 3rd character at random. So I guess really the game is designed mainly for 3 to 5 players with some special rules for 2 players. So we've got some punch boards here. Decent enough thickness on these. So we've got, well, obviously there's Jack. We've got looks like a white wolf. And then the dragon. And we've got these 5 and 10s. I wonder if these may be honor. Maybe this is how you're tracking honor. Huh. Whoops, as I pop that out. Looks like some of this rubbed off. With the rules. So, let's see if did it rub it off or is it, yep, sure enough. That is not good. That's not cool. Okay, so then we've got more of those tokens. Like I said, I think they're probably honor tokens. Because that's what you're trying to get. So we've got that. So we've got a bit of a board here. Let's open this up. All right, so support. So we've got desert, jungle, ruins, the city, and field. But this, I guess there's a support deck goes here. Support discard goes here. Showing a movement discard. We got a sanity meter. All players immediately discard a support card at random. Aku equals game over. So this must represent Aku. I'm guessing. Although that's not what he looks like. Alright, so we've got 2 to 3 players, 4 players, 5 players. So that must be where you start on the sanity meter here. So we've got some tiles. We will have 15 of those. That deck of cards, this deck of cards, looks like we got some character cards. Then we got the minis as well. So we'll save the minis for last. So let's get these tiles. Let's take a look at these tiles here. Come on, there we go. About the same thickness as the punch boards were. So we've got ruins, fields, city, jungle, and desert. So it's like somebody on a motorcycle, like flying above. So, okay, so that's desert. Then we got city. It's like the same kind of things again. So I'm wondering if you kind of sort them out like this. So you've got like that, and then kind of shuffle these up. Because I'm going to take a guess. We got the same, yep, same exact ones. So that is my stab in the dark. Because that way you're not going to know what sort of terrain you're moving through. Whoops, why in the world did I just do that? It's like, okay. Wasn't even paying attention. I was looking at the other stack. So that's my guess. I'm guessing you're probably going to sort these, kind of shuffle these up a little bit. And then you'll have these available, and then you would flip it over, and it's got ruins, and you'd be like, okay, let's move this out of the way. You're probably going to be putting your, kind of your map together like so. Because it seemed like kind of wrapped back around. Looks like you kind of make kind of a, almost like a partial oval with the tiles here. Okay, so we got that. All right, let's take a look to see what we've got as far as these character cards. So we've got villains. And then we've got... There's Aku. There's 3 of those. Then we've got the 5 allies. So we've got Max, as leader of Andromeda. Bravery, robots, robot samurai. And then there's a turn order sequence right here. So a bit of a player aid. Then we got Monkey Man, the member of the White Ape tribe. He is skill, White Ape's bamboo stick. Scotsman, experienced warrior. Friendship, Scotsman's daughters and bagpipes. Sir Rothschild, canine archaeologist. Freedom, canine archaeologist and mining robot. And then Ashi, daughter of Aku. Love, giant bird, and Kusarigama? Not sure what that is. I'm sure it's a weapon, but I've actually I'm not familiar with that. Okay, what do we got with Aku here? Guess maybe you kind of do randomly select, because it looks like just kind of different icons. There's different iconography on these, so maybe that kind of changes things up a little bit. Then we've got some of the villains. There's 5. So we've got Beetle Drones, Scaramouche. I wonder if he does a Fandango. Thunderbolts and Lightning. Very, very frightening. Daughters of Aku. The Horseman. And then Lazarus 92. Wow, wow. Okay, so we've got these. Then we've got support cards. So these are standard size cards here. So bow and arrow, bagpipes, bamboo stick. I bet you're trying to get these items to each of the particular allies. Oh, there you go. Okay, so that's what that weapon is. Motorcycle, samurai armor, Jack's katana, spear, Jack's kimono, Jack's gita. So it's like a bunch of his clothes. Creature leg. Okay. Woolies. Scotsman's daughters. So these are once again more of these. There's the White Ape tribe. More of these cards that look like robots that actually go with the characters, with the allies. Then we got some, looks like some standalone stuff, maybe Ravers, Blind Archers, Samurai, Dragon, which looks like looks more like a croc or an alligator, Ladybug, Self-Sacrifice. So I'm sure the game is going to have a lot more appeal to people who are familiar with Samurai Jack, as well as the 5th season of Samurai Jack. I'm curious, as someone who really doesn't have much experience with the series, if what I'll think of the game when we play it. I mean, does the game stand on its own as a game, or is it, you have to know, all the backstory and everything else for Samurai Jack? Cool artwork. Looks like the artwork's, it's not like just lifted from the show, so that's kind of cool. So looks like we've got different gods here. Odin, Ra, and Rama. So we got that. Then we have movement cards. I wonder if this is if this is what moves Jack around the board, or if this is what moves players around the board. Let's take a look. Is all movement? Oh, looks like each of the allies has their own movement cards. A little movement deck. Yeah, looks like it. And then we also have Aku, looks like, and Jack together. Let's see. Move to the desert, move to the ruins, move to the field, move to the city, move to the jungle. So all these, and I'm going to take a guess that these, for the characters, are the same thing. Yep. Move to the ruins, field, city, jungle, desert. So I wonder if the players get, you know, a couple of these, or they get all of them, but they can, you know, they get all 5, but they have to play. They can only use it one time, and then they have to play their other 4 cards before they can reuse that again. Don't know. We'll have to find out. Do not know. All right, so we've got the movement deck of cards. We've got the support deck of cards. We've got all of these. So let's take a look at the minis, which I'm sure is going to be the selling point of the game itself. As far as I understand, I think this is the only board game that's ever been made for Samurai Jack. So let's take a look. Not too shabby. They're nice and solid. The plastic's very, very solid. Paint job's okay. So there we've got Jack. And then we've got Aku. I guess Aku does look like that. Looking at his head. I didn't think he had that kind of like Chinese dragon face, but then again, I'm not familiar with the show, so I'm just going off of what I saw. Okay, so here's Aku's daughter. She's bent a little bit because the plastic's really thin down at her ankles. So I don't want to try to straighten it out too much because I get the feeling that it'll break. So there she is. Okay, here's Rothschild. This is pretty funny. Mr. Peabody! Kind of reminds me a little bit of Mr. Peabody. Alright, so he's the canine archaeologist. So we got him. Then we got Monkey Man. I like the material these are made out of. It's not just they've got some heft to them. It's not just the usual plastic. So we got Monkey Man. We got the Scotsman. There we go. A bit of a belly on him there. And then this is Max. And then we got Max. Cool. Okay, so we've got the miniatures. We've got the tiles. We've got the movement deck, the support deck, the character cards. We've got the playboard. Let's fold this up correctly. And we've got the various different tokens. And that is what we find when we take everything from Samurai Jack back to the past outside the box. So, as I mentioned, I am going to have a review of Samurai Jack Back to the Past in the very near future. Next time we get the gang together, we'll get a couple of games in, because it doesn't look, like I said, it doesn't look like it's very, very involved. So we'll have to find out, see how it is. It only plays in about 45-60 minutes. As I mentioned, the game is out right now. It does carry an MSRP of $34. $9.99. And it is from Adult Swim, Project Raygun, and USAopoly. All right, so that is it for today's show. Keep in mind, tomorrow's show for Wargame Wednesday, I will be reviewing War Chest, as the tokens kind of moved around in there, from AEG. That will be my review tomorrow. So, do want to point out, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. Well, by now you know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. I will be back tomorrow, so enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Thanks again for watching The Daily Dope, presented by The Gaming Gang. If you like this episode, be sure to give it a quick thumbs up. And if you dig the channel, please subscribe. If you'd like to check out our previous episode, click right here. And if you want to check out a somewhat randomly selected episode, give a click right down here. It'll be like opening a box of Cracker Jacks. You just don't know what you'll get. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'm Jeff McAleer.